Amazon reInvent, Amazon reInvent, Amazon reInvent. That's Monkchips in 3 minutes. Got back from Amazon reInvent last week, and it was kind of amazing because it's a big show, but 5 years ago, it wasn't such a big show. The amount of traction and momentum that Amazon has gained in that time with its web services products is pretty extraordinary. They released a lot of products, ton of products. So last year there were 1,000 features or major service releases. Think about it, that's like 3 a day. So it used to be that as an individual you could keep track of all this stuff. It was great. Okay, I know what Amazon's releasing, I can keep track of that. I'll take advantage of the new services. If I'm in a startup, I can probably move fairly quickly to adopt them. If I'm in an enterprise, a bit slower. But Amazon's saying, look, here's 3 a day. People can't keep track of that anymore. So I was meeting startups and they're like, yeah, so, Amazon has that thing? I didn't know they had that thing. And this pattern repeated itself. The capacity of the industry to absorb the innovation that we're seeing from Amazon is increasingly difficult. The rate they work, the way they do that. So basically you have small teams, autonomous teams working to build new functions and services that hopefully will work together. That's their management methodology, that's how they get stuff done. And as I say, they're getting to the stage where how do you actually keep track of that? Historically at Redmonk we've been like, oh yeah, okay, well industry analysts, we're kind of old hat because the engineers will keep track of this stuff. We don't really need industry analysts, but let me tell you, there were a lot of very relieved industry analysts in the room. You could hear the sighs of relief. It's like, complexity, we still have a reason for being. So anyway, what were some of the announcements that they made? Ton of stuff. So Amazon Lambdas, and that's been a key area. So Amazon have already, from a compute perspective and a storage perspective, kind of nailed this down on demand. But functions as a service take this even further. And I think it's interesting that literally you don't have to pay for capacity unless the service is actually being used. So it's sort of an economic revolution as much as it is a technical one. So Amazon Lambdas, plenty of people using them, but a lot of people also complaining, look, the API gateway, which is your kind of on-ramp for that, is a little bit, is lacking some management functionality. Amazon addressed a lot of that. They've got something called step functions. So it's a visual model and a state machine for managing your Lambdas as you begin to scale this stuff out. X-ray, we're going to be able to look into Amazon services. We're going to be able to look into those Lambdas and understand how the network is performing. And I think that when you take step functions, X-rays, these additional capacities or additional functions, obviously Amazon is thinking, okay, Lambda's going to be a thing, we're definitely going to take advantage of that. I talked about consumability and the struggle of consumability. Lambdas kind of hasn't been like that. Like we see with a lot of Amazon services, what tends to happen is they release something and it's not getting much adoption until suddenly it's got a ton of adoption. I talked to startups there, I talked to enterprises. Lambdas is definitely a big success for Amazon. It's a different model. You want to take one small thing, one small service which creates coordination overheads. That's why Amazon is now delivering these new functions. That's going to be a thing. What else do we see at reInvent? I think one of the big pieces of news is Amazon's coming to a data center near you. Yeah, you thought it was Amazon Web Services. Well, for the past 3 or 4 years, every year at reInvent, they're like, hybrid cloud, hybrid cloud. Sort of the commentary out, the clouderati, they're all like, oh, Amazon doesn't believe in hybrid cloud. This year, they said, okay, you're not going to hear us, you're not going to get the memo. We do believe in hybrid cloud. We believe in it so much, we're going to start delivering compute at the edge. So, your Snowballs, which is a device for storing things, taking it into the cloud, it's faster than a network. They take it, ship it physically, because a truck is faster than a network. This year, you can now shard them, 5 of them, put them together, cluster it with some compute. Lambdas, going to run on those. You could do some local processing. And Amazon said, last year they were kind of surprised by the amount of demand they had for this. When they announced Snowball at reInvent, they were like, oh no, we've ordered too many. Andy Jassy's like, oh, you guys, what are you doing? You're idiots. Nobody's going to need, oh, we've got custom demand. So much custom demand, in fact, the customer's saying, no, this isn't enough. We need a bigger box. This year, a truck drives in. Literally, it's called the Amazon Web Services Snowmobile. They literally ship a truck, a purpose-made container that is secure. Nobody's allowed in. They drive you to a data center. They've got a plug about that big. They plug it in, 100 petabytes of storage so that you can put it all in there. Then they're going to take it to their data center, plug it in, suck that in. You've got all of your on-prem data into the cloud. But they're now doing increasing fluidity between one and the other. That's really interesting. For a lot of the vendors that are like looking at storage models to make things easier, they're going to have to sort of take a step back and say, holy shit, Amazon's a threat now. So all those storage vendors, all those compute vendors, all the people that are selling systems and storage traditionally, life's just going to get even worse. So Amazon is building out more and more functions. Customers are finding it a bit harder to consume all of that, but there's no doubt that they're on a roll, and Amazon reInvent was a big deal this year. That's Monkchips in 3 minutes.